Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a new topic that is on C, that is strings in C. We already have read about the characters. Characters are basically any type, any character or any alphabet that can be stored in a variable. So, in the today's topics, we are going to cover the different topics. These are number one is introduction. In introduction part, we can cover the basics of strings. What are strings? Definition of strings. What are the different features of strings? And in the second part, we can get to know how these strings are declared in C and how the variables are assigned their values. And in the next part, that is initialization of strings. In case of initialization of strings, we can initialize the values to the variables of strings. And there are different methods of initialization. We can explain each and every method in this presentation. In the next, that is reading strings. Reading strings actually deals with how we can read the strings or how we can enter the data from the keyboard in the string variables. Next one is writing strings. Writing strings deals with the how we can display the values of strings on the output screen. There are different methods of reading and writing strings. These reading and writing strings can be explained one by one in this presentation. And next one is string handling function. C provides a various types of string handling function. These are predefined function library functions which are included in string.h header file, and these are directly used in the in our programs. And last one is array of strings. How we can create a array of different strings, how we can accommodate or store the multiple values of strings in the form of array, and later on we conclude the topic in the last. So let us start with our first session, that is introduction to the strings. Here string, what is the definition of string? That is, string is sequence or collection of characters terminated by null character. Means if we have a B, C, these all are characters, and 1, 2, 3, 4, these all are characters. When we combine these characters and collection of characters together is known as string. But every string is terminated, every string is ends by the null character. Null character indicates the termination of the string. So null terminates the string but not part of it. Means null can be provided by compiler, that is directly assigned to the strings. And strings are accessed through arrays or pointers. We can store the values of strings in arrays, or we can access, read or write these arrays with the help of pointer variables. So for library function, string.h is a header file which is provided by the compiler, which contains the various prototypes of many useful functions. Prototypes basically links with the which function are going to be performed, what they are going to be performed, and their body is represented in the string.h header file. So we have defined the strings. Let us start with the features of strings. In case of features, C has no native string type. Means there are different data types that provided by C, but C does not provide a string data type. So to use the string, we use arrays of char. So whenever we want to declare a string, we have to declare a array of character type. Then the string variable values can be stored in that array. And next, a special character called a null marks the end. Whenever in an array a null character appears, it means it is the end of the string variable. And last one is, this may be written as \0. In case of a sky value, \0 has a 0 value, a sky value. That means there is no value assigned to that. That just indicates that this is the end of the string variable. Next one is, this is only the character whose a sky value is 0. And depending on how arrays of characters are built, how arrays of characters we declared, we need to add the null character by hand either user can enter the null character or the compiler may add it for us. Let us start with the second topic, that is declaration of string variables in C. The strings can be declared as arrays of character. The general syntax of declaring the array is character, name of string and subscript value, that is length, then semicolon. Here character is a data type that is provided by the C data types. Name of string can be any user defined string that can be given to a string variable. User can give as such as we declare variables, a name of string as such as a name of a string variable. So length defines the size of the string variable. As we have already I have told that null character shows the end of the string variable. So if we have length 10, then 9 characters can be stored in a string variable. 10th character is a null character, that is end of a character. Let us look at the examples of declaration of strings. How we can declare arrays with different type of methods. In the first example, that is char a10. Here char is a data type, a is a string variable and 10 is the length of character. The maximum number of characters we can store in an array is 9 because the last one character is null character. In the second example, that is char a and then subscript. Here we have not defined the size of array, but as such as the declaration part, we initialize the array with the values. In such case, array is declared or assigned a value or size according to the string variable. As such, in this a variable, there are 5 words, that is handa, and then \0, that is null character, that means end of character. In memory, the characters of array or array string is stored as, first one is h. H is located at the first location. Let us start that array may be start from the index value 0. At index value 0, the compiler store h variable. At index value 1, the compiler store a character. At index value 2, compiler store n. At index value 3, compiler store d. At index value 4, compiler store a. And the last index value, that is compiler stores 0. Since we start the index value from 0 to 5, the total 6 characters are entered in this strings. And the memory, since this is of character type, every index value, every character assign a 1 byte of data. That is, memory address is start is from 200. After 1 byte, that is 201. After again 1 byte, 202, 203, 204 and up to 205. So total, as I said, character data type stores 1 byte of data. So total here are 6 places are allocated. So 6 bytes are allocated to the string A. Notice that even though there are only 5 characters in the word handa, so 6 characters are stored in computer. Why? Because the last character is the null character, which indicates the end of the string. Therefore, if any array of character is to be used to store a string, the array must be large enough to store the string and its terminating null character. That means if we are going to store 10 characters, then array must be of size 11. Initialization of strings. There are different ways in which we can initialize the variables of the strings. We can initialize string variables at compile time, such as char name. We have assigned name a new array of characters with size 10 and again assign the values arrays, that is in double quote. The string variables are always encoded in the double quotes and then semicolon. This initialization creates the following spaces in storage. That means at index value 0a, at index value 1r, at index value 2r, at index value of name is I, at index value of 4 is S. and remaining all the other 5 values, there is a null character that indicates the end of the string variable. So initialization of strings is if we happen to declare a string like this, that is char my drink 3 is equal to t. Here we define the size is 3 and the string variable size is again 3, that is TEA, 3 characters. Then we encountered with the syntax error. That error is C2117T, array bound overflow. Why? Because if we have a 3 characters of string, then we must have the array of 4th size. Why? The 4th size may be for the null character. So in the above example, there is no space to store the null character. Instead, we need to at least declare the array with the size of the string plus 1, that is t is of 3 characters, that is size of the string 3 plus 1 is 4, to accommodate the null terminate. Here character my drink 4 is equal to t, then this statement will be executed. Next, we have already defined that there are various methods to input the strings in the variables or stores the strings in the memory space. So first of all, as we already know, there are different modulus and then operators that indicates which type of variable we are going to store. The first one is use modulus S field. S for string field, specification in scanf. Scanf is main function used to read the variables values from the keyboard. Scanf to read string. It ignores the leading white space. With the help of modulus S, we cannot read the string variables which have white spaces, means which have blank spaces. Read characters until next white space encountered. Whenever a next white space encountered, it stops reading the characters. C stores null char after the last non-white space char. Whenever last non-white space char occur, it stores the next value, that is null character, which indicates the end of the string variables. Reads into array number and before name. Array is a pointer. Example, char name 11. Here name is a variable of type char with size of 11. Then scanf modulus S comma name and then semicolon. Problem, no limit on number of character reads. Need 1 for delimitation. If too many characters for array, problems may occur. We can use the width value in the field specification to limit the number of characters read. That is, in this way we have same variable, the same array variable, that is name with size 11. In this scanf we have defined the 10s. 10 stands for we can going to read 10 continuous characters. After that the computer scanf function stop reading the character, then name. Remember, you need 1 space. Since we have declared 11 size, name of 11 size, 10 for characters and last one for the null character. Width should be 1 less than the size of the array. So here we conclude that the width of the array should be 1 less than of the size of the array. Strings shorter than the field specification are read normally, but C always stops after reading the 10 characters. So whenever the 10th character read by the C, it stops reading the further entered characters. So edit set input modulus list of characters. In this case, list of characters, we can define which type of characters we are going to accept. Either we are going to accept numeric characters, either we are going to accept a line character, or whichever list of characters we can define. Then the compiler only accept that list of characters, ignoring the other one. Let us look at the first, that is list of characters specify set of characters called scan set. The set which we are going to enter any other character that is out of list of characters could not be accepted by the compiler. Characters read as long as character falls in scan set. Character read, the compiler start reading the character as soon as that characters are in the list of chars. Stops when the first non-scan set characters encountered. It stops reading the characters when the list of character is not the member of the list of chars. Note, does not ignore leading white space. It ignored any character may be specified except brackets putting at the end of the negate the set any character but list is allowed. Example, scanf modulus then minus plus. We have defined the list of character that it is start either minus number or plus 2 0 1 2 3 4 up to 9. Any character between this they can accept. If we enter in this case number a, it will reject and stop reading the characters. In the next line that we have defined the list of characters, that is new line character. Read until the new line character is not appeared. So these are the different ways of string input. Here are the different ways of the string output. In string input case we use the scanf function, and in string output case we use the printf function with the same modulus s as for the string variables. The printf function prints the character until the null character encountered. Let us look at example char name 10 rich. So when printf is used, modulus s name, output is rich, means after rich, after 4 places there is a null character. So printf read the all the characters. Whenever null character encountered, it stops reading and it display the word. We can again use width value to print the strings in space, means how many characters we want to print or how many spaces we want to give in the to display the string. In this example, modulus 10s, modulus 10 stands for the 10 spaces, and then the string variable should be displayed, comma name, then the output is 10 spaces and then rich. So next one is use flag to left justify. Left, if we want to show whatever our screen we want to show the left, then we use left justify flag, otherwise right. So here printf modulus left justify 10 as name, that is output is rich, left of the screen. So here are now we are going through the example of simple input output example. First of all, we include the stdio.h, which is mainly standard input output header file. Then we encountered starts with the main function. In this function, first we declare a variable of array, that is string variable of array last name with size 11. In second case, we declare a second variable, that is first name, again of size 11. Printf, we want to display the as it is, that is enter your name, last name first, then the first name would be entered. So in case of scanf, here last name size is 11, first name size is 11, but in the scanf function we have defined that we are going to add characters of 10, because the last one space is reserved for the null character for both last name and first name. In the next line, we are going to print, that is nice to meet you. One is first character, first name, and then the last name. So when we execute this program, the output will be enter your name, that is last, then first. For example, I have entered last name is Kaur and first name is Sumanpreet, then the output will display is nice to meet you Sumanpreet Kaur. So there are methods that with the help of that we can directly read or write the function with the help of printf and scanf function. There are further more functions we compiler have provided, with that we can read a string. So first of all, what is the drawback of reading a string using the scanf function? That is, it does not read white spaces or whole line. Whenever a white space occurs, it stops reading. If the string to be read as an input has embedded with white spaces character, use the standard gets function. If we want to enter a string variable that have a white space, then we have to use the gets function. printing a string. Same is in case of printing a string using printf function, that it does not print the white spaces. So if the string to be print as an output has embedded white spaces, so we have to use the puts function. So instead of using scanf and printf function, we are going to use library functions, that is gets and puts function. Let us look at example of gets and puts function. In this case, standard input output file is included. So in this case, characters, we have declared two string variables, that is string 1 and string 2 of length 50 each. So when we have to enter a length, we have to enter 49 character, including the white spaces is again counted as a character. So printf enter a string less than 50 characters with white spaces \n, then we use the get string 1. Then you have entered puts. Puts string shows the how many whatever you have entered in string 1, that will display the value of that. So here is the sample output. Enter a string less than 50 characters with spaces. So let us say we have entered hello world. Here is a white space between hello and then space and then world. So you have entered hello world. So in this case, gets, with the help of gets and puts functions, we are even accepting the white spaces. Next one is string handling function. So these are the basic input output function. Let us start with another functions which are provided in the C compiler. So C provides a wide range of string functions for performing different string tasks. Examples, the different examples, that is string length, strlen, then str, basically for calculate the string length. String copy, destination comma source, copy string at source to destination. String compare, string 1 comma string 2, compare string 1 to string 2. These are function come with the utility library, that is string.h. Means if we have to use these library function, we must have to include the header file, that is string.h. So here are some examples that are commonly used functions. Number 1 is string length. String length is basically used to calculate the length of the string, that is the number of the characters. It does not count the null character. Next one is string copy. In case of string copy, to copy the contents of one string to another. String cat function is used to concatenate the two strings and stores in the destination strings. Next one is string compare. When we have to compare the two strings, we use the function string compare. Next one is string. It is used to find the first occurrence of a substring in another string. Next one is string reverse. To reverse the string, it will totally reverse the string. The last character should be the first character. Next one is string lower. To convert the string in lower case. Next one is string upper. To convert the strings to uppercase. And next one is string set. Sets all characters of string to a given number. So let us start with the first method, that is string length. So string ln, then function counts the number of characters in a string. Syntax int strlen, then char str. Whichever we since the string length function counts the number of characters, so it returns the integer value. So return the length integer of the string arguments, counts the number of characters until n null character encountered. But in this case, it does not count the null character. So string length function is counts the number of characters in a string. Let us look at the example. Char str1 is equal to hello. Here we have declared a string variable, that is str1, which then we can initialize the str1 with hello. Here in case of hello, there are 5 characters, that is HELLO. In case of string length str1, Since HELLO is of 5 characters, it returns the value of 5. Null character is not counted in the string length function. Next one is string copy function. String copy function basically used to copy the value or contents of one string into another string. Here is the syntax, that is char string copy destination string comma source string. So destination string is the string where the value is going to be stored. Source string is the string for that which value is copied to the destination string. So copies the characters including the null from the source string to the destination string. DST stands for destination string and SRC stands for source string. So destination should have enough space to receive entire string. If not, other data may get written over. If the two strings overlap, for example copying a string onto itself, the results are unpredictable and it returns the value is the destination string. So let us look at the example. Here in this case we have used the two strings, that is source and target. The source string is initialized with the value of Rajesh and the target is of the length of 20. So when we use string copy function, first we have to define the destination, that is target, and then we have to define the source string for which the contents will be copied in target. So in the next line we have print the source string and the target strings. Let us look at this example. Since the source string is Rajesh and we have used the string copy function, it copies the Rajesh value to the target strings. So it displays Rajesh again. So there is another example of string copy. In this example, in the previous example, we have seen that whole of the characters of the source string is copied to the destination string. But for example, if we want to copy some of the source strings characters to the destination, then we can use the another function which is called string n copy. N stands for the number of characters you want to copy from one string to another. In this example, we have declared two variables. One is char string 1, that is of size 100 and it is assigned a value, that is Malaysia. And in the string 2, that is of size 50, we have assigned the string that is Gamilang. And in the next we have used the function that is string n copy. String n copy basically some of the characters of source string is copied to the string 1 and overwrite the initial values. So in this case string 1 is our target and string 2 is source. Then we define the how number of characters we want to copy from source to destination. In this example we have given that the number of copy is 4, that is GEMI is copied to the string 1, the remaining are ignored. So then after copying the 4 characters of string 2, the string 1 would be displayed and the output is string 1 is Jamesia. Reason is why the first MALA are overwrite with the GEMI, because we have copied the 4 characters of the string 2 to the string 1. So first 4 characters of string 1 are overwritten by the GEMI, that is 4 characters of string 2. Let us start with the another library function, that is string comparison function. String comparison function, that is strcmp function, is basically used to compare the two string values. Here is the syntax. When we compare the two string values, the result will be, return value will be integer of type, either 0, 1 or 2 in the form of. So it compares the string 1 to string 2, returns a value based on the first character they differ at. If the value returned by is less than 0. Less than 0 is occur when the ASCII value of the character they differ at is smaller for the str1. If a sky value of str1 is lesser than str2, then they return the less than 0, or second case when they return a value less than 0 is, or if str1 starts with the same as str2, if str string 1 starts with the same of str2, hello hello same, but str2 is longer, str1 may store hello, str2 may store hello world, so str2 is longer.